Really sad news for Selena Gomez fans. We got to talk about this and what she said in her new interview. But before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian and I spill pop culture tea videos every single day. So if you're looking for a new messy bestie, you have found me. You guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new, the whole vibe is like we're on a FaceTime call and we're just hanging out. We're just keeping each other company. I am so grateful and thankful to be here with you all on this beautiful Thursday and just so happy and grateful that we are here. And when I say keep each other company, I really do mean it. Like if you're going through a really bad time or you're just needing a little company, needing a little bit distractions, that is why my channel is here, best friend. It is so you can just kind of escape reality for a little bit, get a little sparkle in your life and just, just breathe and hopefully after you're done watching, you can regroup and feel a little bit less pressure because we are so good at just throwing so much onto ourselves. So just release a little bit and just know your worth and know that you are beautiful. We got to talk about Selena because she just did an interview and it came out today. I'm so any kind of interview I'm so grateful to see about Selena Gomez. But it's a long interview, but I did want to talk specifically about this because this is one of the things that is being most talked about, and it is her explaining why she thinks she will never tour again.
You miss the cadence of performing live? I gotta ask it.
I know. I think the only thing I genuinely miss is probably the interaction. I don't know about ever performing, and I'm not going to say I would never again, because who knows? And I'm always saying I'll never, and then I'm back. So I'm fully aware of my
Of all of our tendencies, by the way.
But I do feel the connection is so strong when I'm on stage, and I can actually feel the power of what my music stands for. And I don't know about award shows or any sort of shows. That's always very too vulnerable. It's also just not everyone's there to support what you're doing. There's a different feeling when you're on stage, and
Very performative.
It is, and sometimes I'm not good at that. I can act ish, but I'm also like not good at faking when I'm on stage. That I'm. I think I did one performance where I thought I looked like a pop star. And I remember thinking, actually, all of that looks so awkward because it couldn't have been the opposite of, who I am. But it's performative. And I'm not sure that's something I'm willing to entertain again. However, the idea of doing, I don't know, an acoustic set or some sort of soft version. I would love to do that. I miss being with fans for sure.
Okay, so selfishly, I'm like, no, Selena. I'm going to be dramatic like in the Mexican novelas, like, oh, yo soy tu mamá. Listen, it is sad. It is sad, girl, okay? Because I love Selena. I was never able to see her in concert, okay? And, selfishly speaking, of course, I'm like, damn it, but, after what happened to her, I think, was it the Billboard Awards or the American, I think it was the Billboard Awards, right? And how she was just honestly destroyed. I mean, I will never forget it. And actually, one of my really good friends, shout out to you, Jen, she danced with Selena in the Look at Her Now part. And Selena, had a horrible nervous breakdown, or no, she had like an emotional breakdown. And, everyone was criticizing her vocals and they were saying if she wasn't ready, why is she performing? And it was just honestly terrible, to be honest. The way that she was treated was so terrible. I watched the performance just the other day and I was like, I don't see what's wrong with this. Like, yeah, she looks very vulnerable. She does look nervous, but I don't think her voice is horrible. And out of tune and all these crazy things. I'm like, yeah. You know what? When you're a celebrity, there's just no room for like error. There's no room for human because apparently the public likes these celebrities to be like freaking robots. But anywho, I like the idea of like the small setting and the acoustic thing, that's nice and all. I don't know. I really wish that, she could possibly go on tour again. I think it would be so nice. Because I think that maybe, and this is just kind of like me as an observer, I think that she might be her nerves for what people might say and the way that they might talk online. I think that is also a huge factor in why she doesn't want to risk it. And I get it, girl. You have all of the peace you can right now. You control your acting on Only Murders, and you are, in charge of what you do next. And you don't have to go through these schedules. And aside from the online bullying, I mean, physically, a tour is very demanding. And the scheduling is crazy. You're on the road, you're flying in and out, there's inflammation in the body. I mean, it's just not the greatest thing that she could do for herself. And also, she's worked so hard since she was a kid. I feel like a tour would just be like for no reason, So I think if she wanted to do like an acoustic version, what I think she could do is, again, go back to the Vegas thing. She doesn't want the whole pop star thing. She doesn't want the fire and the choreography. She doesn't want that. She wants a little stool. She wants a little microphone. She wants maybe a couple musicians in the background, and just kind of, playing her hits and singing in an acoustic, more calm down thing. I think she could do that in Vegas. You know what I mean? I really truly do. I think instead of traveling everywhere, she could just have a place in Vegas where she performs a couple nights a week or a couple nights a month, and then she gets to connect with her fans get to see her, and she's not doing any kind of big, strain on her body or her mental health. And, it is what it is. With the online trolls, you can never, freaking control them. So, they're always going to be there. Even if she comes back and she puts on the performance of her life, they're going to find something to criticize. But I think this might be the best thing for her. But I get why she doesn't want to perform again. I mean, you're not only putting yourself out there, but you are literally like, your health is just going to shit because, like, you know what it's like to travel. When you travel, you're exhausted. So imagine traveling and then have to do sound check, rehearsals, the show, the meet and greets, then the traveling to the next city. Like, it could be very difficult. So selfishly, girl, I wish you would do the whole pop star tour, but I definitely understand why she wants to protect her peace. And this is another form of setting boundaries with herself and with her public. I think it is a very important thing. And I think boundaries are important, honey. I really truly do, even with yourself, girl, because what I've learned, and I don't want to turn this into a therapy session, but what I learned is that sometimes, like, we let the negative talk get so much control over us that we are not able to see the good, right? And setting that boundary with yourself, that you will not allow that to take over you anymore, that's huge. Setting boundaries for yourself, to yourself, is crazy huge. And it's needed, because sometimes we can just lose control and we're fucked, So I definitely feel like she is setting a good, healthy boundary. She is saying exactly what she wants. And quite frankly, financially, she doesn't need the tour. People usually tour when they need money, because when they release albums, that hardly any of that money goes to them. It goes to the record company, the producers, and it has to pay back the record company for the budget of the videos, the budget of the album, the budget of the songwriters, the producers, the executive producers, anyone who's worked on the album. So they have to pay all that back, and then they're left with a little bit. So that's when musicians, I want to say musicians take their act on the road, because then they can make more money, and that's basically for them. So what do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the comments. Are you sad that there might be a world where we never see Selena Gomez back on stage, or do you understand it? Let me know in the comments. Once again, thank you to everyone who is donating to the toy drive. I'm so grateful and thankful. The links are in the caption and in the description and in the comments. So I really would appreciate if you donated today. I would be so grateful. We're going to be delivering all the gifts towards the end of the, beginning of November. I think it's like, beginning of December. Before the 5th of December, all of the toys will be delivered. So stay tuned for that. I love you all. I'm very grateful, and I'll see you on the next one. Mwah.